interrupt this program to bring you a special news bulletin. The Japanese have attacked Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, by air. President Roosevelt has just announced.
Since the beta, people started using demo rushes and grenadiers and half tracks, and it seems to be pretty effective as a diversion.
Deutschland von 1 hat 3/4 12 die Waffen niedergelegt. Ich habe grundsätzlich immer erfüllt.
Mirror matches are a tricky thing. Lots of people do want the mirror matches, but there's their balance problems, you know? I mean, one of the things that I like to talk about...
We shall fight in France. We shall fight on the seas and oceans. We shall fight with growing confidence and growing strength in the air. We shall defend our honor.
I will tell you, there is a couple...
This is Bridge 1 to TSN Central. Tales of Heroes is a go. Repeat, Tales of Heroes is a go.
Yes, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Tales of Heroes here on the T-Sportscast Network. We are just about to start our match on Lyon. And it's gonna be a good map. Good match, good map. Sepha versus Fujix here tonight. Sepha playing as the Allies. Fujix playing under a Smurf name as the Axis. And to give a quick introduction on these players here is my good co-host, Vittensby. I am Bridger. I will let him take it away.
Alrighty. So Sepha is pretty much at the top of the Allied ladder right now, as he was in the beta. He's probably one of the best Allied players around. He has lots of practice, lots of experience. He goes kind of a different strategy than he normally would. I guess they played a couple games before this. He goes the right side of the armor tree, so expect to see some, the repair ability and the Allied war machine, which hopefully will be enough to turn the tide in this battle. Fujix goes terror. That's always good. It gives you a little bit more options than blitz, but I think blitz might actually be better on this map because you can get 2 tigers out. I personally, like this map, although I think it's a little bit too big. Both players are my friends, and they're friends as well. They're in the same clan actually. And they're renowned beta players. Fujix was at the top of the Axis ladder in beta. He's played quite a bit. He's working his way up on his Meepsor account right now. Luckily, his name from the beta didn't get stolen by some random people, just like what happened to some of the other players like Hero and Sepha.
And Sepha, yeah, he's playing under Seph.
Yep. So... it should be a good match. I know there's lots of action. It's kind of a long game, so we'll see how it goes.
Oops, there we go. All right, let's unpause it then in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Unpause. So here we go. Game is started. We see a barracks coming out from Sepha. Very good rifle spam map, as we mentioned earlier. I really like the ambience of this base. It looks like it used to be a park or something on the Axis side. Pretty cool. And he's actually not building anything right off the bat. He's sending he is building a Wehrmacht quarters a little bit farther away, that are closer to the middle. And it makes a difference. I mean, look how far away, the middle is when you think about it on this map. So
Allies tend to have an advantage getting to the center first, and Axis has an advantage getting to that northern bridge. So I think we're going to probably see some early barbed wire go up from both sides. Certainly the barracks opening is better for earlier map control, although the weapon support center opening might not be that bad of an idea, since there is buildings on each side of the bridge to set an early MG in, which should give you a little bit more choke point hold. We'll see what Fujix gets first. Might be a Volk squad, so he has a little bit of extra capping power, although I wouldn't be surprised if it was an MG. Like expected,
there's a Jeep. Interesting.
Fujix is barbed wiring off the northern bridge. That is a very interesting start for Sepha. I wonder why he chose that. Maybe he wants to pick off one of those pioneer squads that he thinks is going to be running to that middle bridge.
Certainly, I mean, you mentioned Sepha's going the right-hand side of the armor tree, and I was just thinking, dang, look at this map and imagine how awesome it would be with Raid. I wonder if he ever goes that eventually and just uses some armored cars to run around the map, you know, just taking stuff, because the Axis just can't be everywhere. Barbed wiring off the middle bridge as well. Even though that means he's sacrificing the victory point for it. That's really interesting.
Yeah. Sepha's bringing up that Jeep. It just did a little slide shuffle there. Kind of strange. He doesn't get there quite in time, though, as Fujix ends up completing that barbed wire before Sepha can run the Jeep there to kind of block it off from being constructed. We got an early MG coming to hold that victory point in the center. I'm assuming a lot of the fighting is going to be over that center victory point, as the other 2 points are pretty much unharassable. There's another Pioneer squad coming out, so Fujix is kind of making up for that early MG's lack of mobility and capping power to get an extra Pioneer squad out. Sepha's working straight on going to the left, so it looks like he's going to try to rush to that fuel on the left side of the map, probably. Jeep's going around. One good thing you can do with your Jeep is put it in front of an MG, and if you can catch it when it's not in the building and when it's on the field, you can put your Jeep in front of it, and it'll kind of take a step forward, a step backwards, not really go anywhere, and that's a good way to delay an early MG.
That's a great way to take advantage of the bugs in the game. GG. No, I know exactly what you mean. It's kind of some weird pathing that the MGs and such do. But I mean, even if you get your Jeep that close to a machine gunner, it's going to win anyway. I mean, you're just going to be able to run around the other side and continually flank it. I mean, there's no way to win if you have an MG squad against, you know, a full strength Jeep when you're right next to it. Here comes a second machine gun squad. Also, it's going to be Jeep food in here, unless the Jeep is microed. Uh-oh, he can't micro in the right direction. Look at that backing up around the corner. That was pretty good. I mean, this guy could be parallel parking or something. I mean, what is he doing playing a video game?
Yeah, we talked about the Jeep and the recon units a few weeks ago, and that's one of the advantages that a Jeep has, is that it can just back up as opposed to the bike that has to turn all the way around. Sepha's sending that engineer squad all the way up. I guess he's trying to cut off Axis from that fuel right now. That's kind of interesting. Ooh. He's sacrificing a little. Oh, he's putting barbed wire there.
That's a good position.
That's always good.
Wow, that is really good. Because this fuel here is supposed to be in Axis control.
And he's got barbed wire on that upper north bridge, so in case Fujix decides to delete that barbed wire and come through there, he runs into the barbed wire.
Good point.
We got a bike coming up. Unfortunately, that Jeep has a severely damaged engine. It's probably going to get taken out pretty easily by that bike. But I think it delayed Fujix from capping that fuel point, which is pretty much what Sepha wanted. Rifleman's still capping in the south, while Fujix is just taking his side of the map. It's a pretty polarized map, and that's the way it's supposed to play out, so I wouldn't be surprised. Sepha told me that basically it's very difficult to fight over map control early on, because just a few MGs and a couple barbed wire pretty much locks down the map. So I know that they weren't really trying to kind of fight that much for map control in the beginning, although there is a little bit of aggression coming from Sepha. Sepha's putting up, using the sandbag strategy on that bridge now, so that Fujix can't get by. Unfortunately, if Fujix just would have deployed that MG a little bit closer, he probably would have been able to fire on the other side and prevent that from happening.
Yep.
I don't even know if he knows it's going on right now.
It just suddenly came into range because it just barely got the tip of it.
Yeah, the tip of the bike is what actually.
Oh, that's what did it. I see. Yes. The view. It wasn't the range. I thought the machine gun should be able to fire, but of course we can't see each side's view because the replay controls, well, suck. But hopefully they'll get patched in better. But yeah, that bike did allow them to see it. And so now the machine gun was able to stop that from completing. Here comes the bike through here. We see very early fuel grab over here, even though it's not connected. He's going to just take... Oh, I hate when they get this bug. The dang thing is still suppressed, even though it's not actually suppressed. So...
Oh, and they're crawling.
Yeah, they're crawling even though they're not actually suppressed anymore. He finally taken a point to you know, fix the bug there. So most of the map is taken now, except for this... medium munitions point right near the Allied base, and the two munitions points in the middle that are unattackable due to this particular function here, which is a fence.
I'm surprised Sepha didn't cap that victory point in the south. That might have been a mistake, as he could have, since he controls the middle victory point.
Yeah.
He could have already taken the timer down. In the north on that bridge, Fujix put some tank traps. I guess he inadvertently didn't finish the last one, or didn't feel it was necessary because it's already blocked off. But there's also a mine right behind that, so if a Pershing tank comes out or something tries to bust through that, it's going to get hit by the mine. Sepha's really got a good control on the fuel. He's got a third observation post coming up. He's gaining a little bit more fuel, about +5 more fuel, since they both have... actually, I'm sorry. Fujix only has 3 fuel points, as Sepha has 5. So certainly Sepha's going to be able to get the first armor out on the field, but we'll see how that affects the game. He's got a supply yard.
They've all got... Wow, look at... Fujix has observation posts on his fuel, too. It's such a big map that getting to the tanks and the vehicles first is very important.
And Sepha's already getting up his tank depot, so that we're going to see some armor. Fujix is...
Wow, that is fast. We barely started this game.
Yep. And Fujix is putting tank traps in the middle. I guess he's kind of sacrificed control of that victory point as he pushes for that southern victory point. Sepha's wisely capping the victory point right now, although he probably could have had 20 or 30 more ticks off the clock at this point.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Fujix has completely ignored his victory point. He could have been, not having lost any at all this entire time, but he didn't go for his victory point at all. That's probably a big mistake. Some very nice job over here at this strategic point, putting barbed wire all the way around it, because that prevents the enemy from easily cutting off the fuel at the north. Very, very good job. Well, fuel at the west, I guess it would be. So that's actually a pretty cool strat. I don't know how much that's going to help, though, because, I mean, if they break through this barbed wire over here, I don't think barbed wire over here is going to stop them, I mean, what's interesting, though, is this entire left island is only accessible via infantry units. No vehicles can go over there. That's one of the cool things about this map, is the left-hand side is infantry only, because these are all, walkways that only infantry can pass through.
And it would certainly be hard to get by an early MG on that island. That would be pretty strong. Sepha's just starting to cap that +10 munitions point. I don't know if that was a mistake. Probably not, as he's not going to really need too much munitions. He probably had more important points to cap. That Flamer Engineer did a number on that observation post, so Sepha's losing a little bit of fuel income right now, but the fact that he has that extra 2 extra fuel spots on Fujix is going to really help him out.
Well, he just lost one of them. Now it's 4 and 4.
Yep.
Interesting. But so, good positioning for the machine gun squad over here, guarding that stolen fuel. And actually, I'm surprised at how well Fujix is taking this south. He's like assaulted over the things. But partly that might be because Sepha has basically done nothing but go straight for tank depot, and I think he's probably getting out an M10. That's building awfully fast.
He has the on the right side of the tree. It increases the speed.
So it's probably a Sherman.
He only built one rifleman squad, and he hasn't even reinforced it. So he certainly went straight for tanks. So
he's actually got an engineer squad sitting up here at the northern point. I don't know how long has that been there.
Just a few, like a minute. He's
probably
gonna build some tank
I thought it's been there
traps
since the beginning of the game.
That Sherman's really going to do a number on all that infantry that's down there.
Actually, there's a Stug coming out, too, but it's way out of the way. So, I mean, it's not going to get there for a long time. And here comes the Sherman, which is basically going to annihilate this flame squad. Oh, it's going to get out just in time. No! And as if to add insult to injury, he knocks down Oh, he drives over the body! Oh, that's terrible. Oh, man. He was retreating, and he just got completely owned, and not only did he get destroyed by the tank shell, a piece of a brick wall fell on him. A big brick arch. Stone arch. Oh, man.
Sepha's lost a bit of map control, which is kind of bad for him. Also, Fujix laid a mine by that low munitions point, which probably will
Which low munitions point are you talking about?
The +5 he just captured in the south.
Ah, I see, yes. Very sneaky.
Sepha's getting considering this map's pretty balanced, about 15 less munitions, actually 20 if you count the +5 in, that Fujix is getting than Sepha's getting right now, which might help out later on in the game with firestorms and such. So Mike's just trying to get out of the way of that tank.
He's doing a good job with the recon bike, though. He's looking everywhere with it. He's trying to find out where the enemy's position is. And now, I mean, you can have all the tank in the world you want. That tank's not going to be able to capture that point. So right now, the victory points are ticking down on Sepha. And he just leveled up his Sherman. Not good for the Stug, which is coming to try and kill it. Is it going to get a quick rear shot? If Sepha stops that tank where it is, that Stug's going to get a rear shot. It's going to be very important. Oh, no! Very nice! And it kills but the Stug is unharmed. Oh, that was a big miss there. Stug's not going to be able to easily kill it now.
We have another Stug coming out, and Sepha got an M10, which is probably a wise choice, just to let the Sherman take the pounding while the M10 does a little bit of extra damage. Still only has, well, he has 2 rifleman squad. One of the rifleman squad just ran over that mine by the +5 munitions points. Sepha's got a little bit of time. He's got about 120 points on Fujix right now, so he can afford to lose the victory points for just a short while. Wow, it is so far from the Axis base to get down to the Allied corner, and likewise the same thing. So it's really hard to take any kind of control on the other person's map.
Well, I don't think that's the case, because I think that Sepha did an absolutely fantastic job sealing off this left-hand island over here. He's got an extra 10 fuel, and that is unharassable at the moment. Meanwhile, you know, we see the OP getting hit over here. The M10 is just about to flank this. Uh-oh, not good. Big hit, big hit. If you notice, though, the thing I noticed is the M10 has a 7 against tanks, whereas most tanks only have 5. So the M10 is more powerful than I initially gave it credit for. There is the armor repair, vehicle armor repair. I can't remember the exact name of it, but there it is. Both tanks are being repaired. He's going to double up on that Stug, take it down. The M10 is in trouble, but if they can double up and kill that Stug very quickly, is he going to be able to save the M10? I think he is. That Stug, no way the Stug can kill that M10 fast enough. It's about to, oh no, he's got one more shot on the M10 would take it out, but he's maneuvering. There it is. Wow. Very, very nice micro by Sepha. His Sherman's in big trouble. Another Stug. I forgot about the one coming back. And there goes the Sherman. The M10's going to go down too here in just a second, I think. One shot, one kill. Out of control. That Sherman, I'm sorry, M10 is gone. And another M10, but that doesn't matter. I think the Stug here has still got an advantage. The M10, no, maybe the M10's still going to be able to flank it easily. I didn't think, oh no, it got stuck!
It's being repaired right now, so it definitely is going to win. But as
oh,
you saw,
it didn't get repaired. The engineers got crushed repairing it.
Oh man, that was really unlucky. But as you saw with that early cruise repair vehicles ability, basically he got the ability to survive 3 Stugs with 2 tanks, pretty much, and he got his money's worth on those kills right there. Another, as you can see, this is the game on this map is really about who gets the quickest tanks first. It's not about who can, secure the most map control early on, because when one Sherman comes out, all those units are going to be useless if you don't have tanks. Another Stug coming up.
Certainly, Sepha probably has a huge fuel advantage right now because it's back to 5 on 3 fuel points. He's going to want to get that tank out of there, and quickly. Oh, wow! Unfortunately, Meepsor did not fully... Oh, no! Runs over the mine. That's not good. M10 ran over the mine in the middle of there. It's got a damaged engine. But did Meepsor not fully build those tank traps there? Or did one get destroyed?
No, I'm sure he did that on purpose. He probably wanted to allow his own tanks, because Axis have such a hard time to get through there, and he probably didn't want to have to delete one of them and then ended up using it against him, so he just ended up leaving it open for his own tanks. I don't know. We'll see.
That makes sense. He probably should have minded it a little bit more, too, if he was going to do that.
Yeah, unfortunately, mines don't do a whole bunch of damage against tanks, but it's almost a guaranteed damage engine every time.
And on a map this big, I think a damaged engine is really important.
Yep. It's interesting he's massing up M10s. He's not really getting a Sherman. Maybe he realized that early Sherman wasn't the best thing to do. But we'll see.
Well, I think it was really... M10s are only really good if they are also with a Sherman to back them up, you know?
Yeah, for the anti-infantry, especially if they've squad of Grenadiers, which is probably what Meepsor is going to get, because he's back-teching to Creek Barracks right now, so who knows, maybe he'll get some AT guns, but he's falling way behind in the fuel right now. But, you know, Allied tanks are more expensive in fuel, so he can kind of survive off of what he's got for at least, you know, in the meantime before he can take back something.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that M10's going to be toast, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, that Stug wasn't able to cut it off, but if he would have been able to cut it off...
He's going to get a good hit on it.
Yep, nice rear armor shot. Didn't take off that much damage, surprisingly.
Yeah, I'm surprised the M10 doesn't get hurt more by the Stug. I always thought that would be a lot more damage. Maybe M10s are our answer to Stugs. I mean, maybe we've just been doing all this stuff wrong, and that's why Stug spam is so easy. Because, you know, the M10 seems to be like paper against other tanks, but the Stugs don't do that much damage to it.
Yep, apparently. Sepha's done repairing his M10 in the south, which is nice because it has one level of veterancy on it. Let's see, I wonder what... yeah, I figured Fujix would be spending some of his fuel once he got 2 or 3 Stugs on the field on
oh, running into buildings, that's going to slow him down, he's dead. No way. Good night! Bad night.
Ouch.
Bad micro on that M10. He had the speed advantage, and he just sort of, you know, lollygagged a little bit and allowed the Stugs to get too close.
You want to take a guess on whether that's an AT gun or a Grenadier squad? I think it's probably a Grenadier squad.
I'm thinking Grenadiers. He's probably going to go for Panzerschrecks. Oh, no!
It's an AT gun.
Wow.
Well, it's cool. I mean, it's kind of an urban combat map, so I don't think that was necessarily a bad choice. And he's really afraid of getting practically one-shotted by Shermans, but he certainly doesn't know that... as Sepha just got out another Sherman, so I guess he wasn't too happy with that mass M10 strategy against these Stugs.
But there is an extra Dragon's Tooth there now. The M10 is stuck.
Yeah, he obviously must have either made a mistake or miscalculated his control on that center point. Fujix's points are going down pretty quickly. I mean, he's under 300 right now and dropping, so he's got to make a move and has to cap something.
He really does. And he's making a move for that south victory point instead of the middle one. You'd think the middle one would just be easier to get.
I wonder if those riflemen had sticky bombs on them. I guess not, otherwise he probably would have tried to get one off.
Yeah.
But he's either that or he's just saving up his munitions for the...
nice! Look at this flank! Beautiful! The M10 with veterancy right behind. The Sherman up front. Doubling that Stug that's already damaged. That's a great move. Oh, but he switched it! He's shooting at the wrong tank now! There he goes, he switched back. Oh, that was a big deflect.
Yeah, I wasn't... Smoke canister coming out, that's nice. It's going to pretty much... And the crew repair vehicles, so certainly those tanks are going to have a whole second life. I don't think that M10 is going to be able to get killed, even by that AT gun. He can retreat it back a little bit. That Stug is definitely going to be toast. You can see how that repair really is helping Sepha out. I mean, and with the smoke canister, had that M10 been in... obviously that M10 was trying to block off that Stug from getting out of there. But
it's 3rd level veterancy. Wow. That
just
M10
barely survived, though.
That M10 surviving is a big, big deal for Fujix right now. And these tank drivers must have gone to the Tonka school of driving. I mean, they're like, we must destroy everything! This is ridiculous.
That AT gun and the 2 mines on the bridge is going to be nice. It's going to be a little bit of a deterrent, especially because Sepha knows that that's already there. It's interesting, though, that he hasn't... I don't even know if there's any way to get rid of those sandbags. Is there any way to get rid of those sandbags that's on that bridge, or is it just a lost cause?
You know what? I think you're right. I don't think you can possibly get past those sandbags at this point. Unless maybe you brought a tank up and shot at them for a while. A Goliath might do it. Wow, I
yeah,
mean,
Goliath would definitely do it.
That's a great example of why sandbags need to be either jump overable or dismantlable or something.
Right.
Sherman is going down. Nope, he just stopped in time. He was going to make an assault, but that was a good defense there. He's got squad. Why don't you take the victory point? Oh, he's got both grenadiers right in the middle. He could take the victory point. There's nobody guarding it. He could at least force the Allies to move somewhere else, but I guess he's just going back to cut off a strategic point? I'm confused right now about what Fujix is trying to do.
I'm curious if that southern rail line on the left side of the map gives Allies access to the left side, or if that could give...
It does. It connects. If you look at the tactical map, the rail line gives them access to the island.
Really small path, but yeah, that would be something that Fujix needs to get control of, and I guess that's why he pushed so hard down there. But had he brought a squad of Flamer engineers up there, he would have already had both of those fueled back at this point. But he had no way of knowing that there wasn't something waiting over there, so maybe that was kind of a smart choice to stay away from it. Yeah, he's capping those points pretty well right now, but you know, one Sherman against infantry is pretty much good game infantry.
And he's got the one Stug. He's going to try and bring up. Nope, never mind. He backed it off. I think if he has that Stug pushed up. Oh, he backed it through so he could take this munitions point over here. I think he did that on purpose. I mean, if he has that Stug pushed forward a little bit on that bridge, backed up by the AT gun, he could do some decent damage pushing forward on this left side, but he's really going to need infantry support. And it doesn't look like he really has any. I mean, he's got another Stug coming. Oh, he's getting veterancy on his Stugs. There, he's not going to need infantry support if he gets the second level veterancy on his Stugs. He's got another thing building at the Kriegsbarracks. Could be another AT gun, but I'm betting on Grenadiers with Panzerschrecks coming up soon.
I think the fact that he went back to Krieg Barracks probably means that he realizes that just massing up tanks without any kind of AT support or Grenadier support isn't really going to work, because Sepha's getting a ton more fuel than he is right now. And it's another AT gun. Probably to go to the middle point and do the same thing that he did on the left side. Just maybe hold an AT gun there and push forward by deleting one of his own tank traps. It's a possibility, although I don't really know what he's thinking right now, but I would guess that's where it's going.
Look at all the M10s. You got two M10s in the south here, ready to respond whenever somebody comes across the bridge. You got another two up here for flanking, and a Sherman in the middle to go after whatever side needs it.
Yeah, this is kind of a little lull in the battle. One of the TGE who watched the replay beforehand told me there was this like 5-minute lull, so we're just in there right now while they build up forces. But don't despair; it does get interesting again.
More mines going down on the south bridge. Good positioning. Yep. He's really going to need those later if he manages to do something. But as we were talking about, I mean, the tickets are draining away. There's got to be a bigger fight over the middle point here. Fujix has got to get that into action. I mean, he's blocking it off again, but he's blocking off the wrong side. If he could just push forward and put some shit on the other side, he might be okay. But he blocked off the wrong side in the beginning, I think. I don't know why he would have blocked that off from himself.
Yeah, had he finished those tank traps, I certainly think that Sepha wouldn't have been able to reinforce as quickly as he did, and maybe that initial battle where there was 3 Stugs on the Sherman and the M10 wouldn't have went so much in his favor, in Sepha's favor. But that repair ability is just so important to Allies, and now that Sepha has the smoke canisters, it's going to be really, really difficult to penetrate it, because one smoke canister can protect a whole bunch of tanks, not just the Sherman.
Yep, and he's actually doing. Fujix is doing a great job on the left-hand side here, creating a little bit of a foothold across this bridge. And if he needs to, he can always retreat and let those mines do any kind of damage that he needs to.
Let's just hope those AT guns don't shoot the Stugs from behind.
Oh, yeah. He's got them positioned very well, though. He just needs to move the AT guns a little bit if he wants to deal with those M10s. But the M10s need to flank. If they don't flank, they're probably going to lose this battle. And if they can't flank since the AT gun is there... But wow, I can't believe they're doing that much damage to the Stug.
I don't know why Sepha's sending the 3 tanks to the north. Maybe he thinks that those 3 Stugs are just a diversionary force, but I don't know. Sepha's got so many more tanks than Fujix has right now because Fujix built the Creek Barracks.
Oh, that Sherman is gone. Unless the Stug gets hit by the AT gun. And it did! Oh, that's terrible. You gotta love realistic physics. But a smoke canister popping to defend that Sherman at very low health. It got killed anyway! Did it just get killed by that M10?
There wasn't any smoke canister that came out. Actually.
Are you sure? Okay, I thought I saw a smoke canister, but I thought a M10 just killed it from behind. It must have been the Stug. That's weird. There was a big puff of smoke. It must have been something else. Or the end of one. I don't know. But
actually, I think Sepha was going to push in the north. Maybe he didn't realize that there was tank traps there. I mean, Fujix has like 5 mines up there, so he might have made a tactical error and now is realizing it and has to retreat from that battle. I mean, 2 AT guns is just punishment when you have tanks supporting them, but it was such a small firing lane that it doesn't surprise me that he took a couple rear shots.
He really needs to get around there and take this fuel back on the left-hand side if he can. Sort of flank through. Just send an engineer squad or a Volk squad across this rail bridge and start taking that fuel back.
Yeah, Sepha's got a Calliope out, so he's pretty far in the tech tree. I don't know, maybe he didn't go for Allied War Machine. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe he just got up to the crude repair vehicles.
Yeah, and then he went for Raid and Calliopes. Oh, no! We have an M10 flanking behind these now. Oh no, it's getting hit. It is gone. That M10 with 3 levels of veterancy is about to die, I think. There it goes. Not good, but a Calliope barrage right into the AT guns. The Stug, everything has been destroyed. 1 AT gun shell remains. The Stug is in big trouble going up against 2 M10s head on. It's about to die. The Calliope's probably going to come and support, but wow. Main gun destroyed. He's got nothing. He can try and back it up and hope for lots of deflections, but no matter what, losing those AT guns was a big problem right there for Fujix. He needs to do something. Oh, he's got the middle back. I didn't even see that. This whole battle going on, he's taking the middle back, so he's not losing points anymore.
And he's got a Tiger Ace on the field, which is going to help out. But
you just made me spill my Pepsi. That's awesome.
Yeah, but Sepha has what?
Don't tell me about Tiger Aces when I'm drinking. Oh, here he comes, racing right into the mines! Oh, good night, Vietnam!
That M10 took quite a bit of damage from those mines. Let's see what that Tiger Ace can do against these 3 tanks. Sepha's holding those 2 M10s.
Oh no! He rode his Tiger Ace into the mines as it was triggered by his enemy, and the mine actually hit the Tiger Ace. That sucks.
Really unlucky. There's a little bit of a battle going on in the middle, actually, with the rifleman that just got pinned by a mine. That MG, as you can see, just covers that middle bridge completely. So, wow, that other mine went off, totally killed the rifleman squad.
Wow.
Oh, boy. Yeah, so Fujix has pretty good control on that.
Fujix's mines are like saving his ass. He's doing a fantastic job planting those.
Man, imagine if that Tiger Ace didn't have a damaged engine right now. Oh, boy.
Yeah, right? Look at, I mean, of the 4 M10s in Sherman that he had a while ago, he lost a Sherman, he lost 2 M10s, he's now down to a Calliope and 2 M10s. He just built another one, so he's got 3 M10s. Unfortunately, there's a Stug. He really needs a Stug or something else to support that Tiger Ace. He can't have it up by itself.
I think maybe backtracking to Krieg Barracks. That's 1 Stug right there. The Compcraft Center with 1 upgrade. That's 2 Stugs in 1 Stug in fuel and at least 1 Stug in manpower. So that's 2 Stugs right there that he could have had on the field. I don't know if it was necessarily the best idea to do that, but
I think if he gets level 2 veterancy, it's going to pay off when he gets a couple of Stugs out in the field, because having those extra machine guns on the Stugs is probably going to help him out a lot, since he doesn't have any infantry support right now.
Yeah, Sepha's so rolling in the fuel right now that he basically has bars on his yeah, so he's going to definitely have any kind of advantage against infantry. That Calliope is just sitting in the center trying to actually took out that house completely. Here comes a Stug to intercept it.
He's got to hurt that Calliope. It's got 2 levels of veterancy already. Wow. He's backing up so he can use his barrage, I bet, here.
Oh, I don't think he's going to waste it on that Stug. But if he's rolling in the munitions, then probably will. Those riflemen don't look like they have sticky bombs, and all they had to do was just charge that Stug and throw 1 on it. But I think he's just saving up his munitions as much as he can. He doesn't want to risk throwing away 30 125 munitions just for a damaged engine that can be repaired.
Nice position with that machine gun, too. He's going to force the Calliope. Here comes the Calliope barrage.
Here comes the barrage. You're right.
Wow, look at how much damage it's doing. It's going to kill it! Oh, my lord! Freaking overpowered. 125 is way too cheap for that power. I swear to God, man. I am so... no way. It comes instantly. It has every advantage over any other artillery in the game. It comes faster than any other artillery. It has no warning. And it costs 125 frickin' munitions with a very tight concentration. It's ridiculous. Yep. M10 wagered a little bit too close to the bridge there. Tiger's probably going to shoot it again. Misses, though. Oh no, here comes the Calliope barrage on the Tiger! Look at how easy that is. Look at how easy that is. The Tiger, it's because it's a Tiger Ace, it didn't take that much damage. If it was a regular Tiger, I think it would have taken a little bit more damage, but he couldn't quite repair it all the way to fix the engine, though. You have to fix it all the way to 100% in order to fix the engine.
Panzerfaust just hit the tank trap. Tank traps, sometimes you'll try to fire over them and they'll hit the tank traps. Panzerfaust apparently hit tank traps. But I think if Fujix went blitz this game, he definitely would have had 2 Tigers, and the fact that he built a Compcraft Center and got a little bit of veterancy, I think would have been more useful than having a triple veteran Tiger in the form of a Tiger Ace. I certainly think 2 Tigers are better than a Tiger Ace in a game like this, where you can kind of afford to build a Compcraft Center, because the map is just so huge.
Well,
a little bit of a build-up.
Sorry, go ahead.
Now again. Just a little bit of a build-up right now. I mean, both players are kind of... I guess this map, like you can see, is just kind of more or less a camp fest. That's why it's probably not good for tournament play, because not only is the match...
Whoa! Those Pioneers were annihilated.
Yeah, one-shotted. If you're playing a day tournament format in a format where you play an entire tournament in one day, and you have Lyon selected, and then someone else, everyone's playing Lyon, that could really slow down the tournament. And the map, in my opinion, is just too large for an effective one game. And as you can see, it's just kind of back and forth. No one can really push until you get like 10 tanks out on the field. And could you imagine what an 88 would do on this map? Like, if you look on just a little bit north to that plus 5 fuel point that's right below the Tiger Ace, just put an 88 right in the middle of that. That would be a pretty good position. Also, you could stick it on the bridge. Missed a Firestorm that came in, but as we found, Firestorm doesn't do that much against tanks.
Oh no!
Another Calliope barrage.
Wow.
Sepha just rolling.
He just cannot fix that Tiger Ace. Every time it gets really close, they do something to damage it more. He just can't fix that engine. You have to get it to 100% in order for the engine to respawn and refix itself. So right now, his Tiger Ace is almost going to kill this M10 if he gets one more shot in. Boom! Wow! I don't know what Sepha's thinking that he can attack here with the Tiger and a Stug, defending. But the smoke is going to help him. Yep. I think maybe he...
shot from the Tiger that missed. See how many it'll do in a row. That's 2.
Oh, he's moving out of the smoke, though!
Oh, he's trying to flank it and then move in the other tanks. Oh, we got a Firestorm coming in on the bridge. That's always good. That's one of the benefits that Terror Doctrine has. You do get that artillery that Blitz just doesn't have, but you can argue that
it's just barely missing. Oh, and he got a nice strike on the. No, that was the tank. Never mind. All he needed to do was drop it a little bit closer, and he would have been able to kill that M10. The Tiger Ace is almost gone. He's still missing.
He should be repairing that Tiger Ace and not the Stug. But I guess he's worried because
how is he still missing the Sherman? He missed it twice. It's right there. There's not even any smoke over there.
He just popped the smoke caster on that Sherman in the south not too long ago.
And maybe just the
second the smoke goes away.
There we go. That Tiger Ace is still in big trouble.
But as you can see, a Tiger Ace is pretty durable, especially its front armor is just practically impenetrable. Well, this is going to be an interesting little battle. Oh my god. Sepha and Fujix lost every one of their tanks.
Oh no!
That was a big turning point right there, and all that held him off against all those tanks was one Tiger Ace and one Stug. Wow.
And he finally has an extra AT gun there, which really would have turned the battle a long time ago.
Yep. Now he's just got to take back some victory points. He's at 432, controlling 1, and Sepha has 140, controlling 1. So he cannot afford to lose victory points at this point. He really needs... He's got more mines laid on the bridge to the left. He's really got to use those engineers just to harass that victory point right now. You know, he's just kind of standing there. I guess he was paying attention so much to that battle.
Yeah, I think if he used those pioneers to go after the south victory point just to, you know, force Sepha to respond, it would work really well. But
we got a Pershing coming up.
Oh no!
And if Sepha would have went for Allied War Machine, and he might have been able to activate it during that battle, I don't know if that would have helped him. But he certainly had enough tanks, and for 250 munitions, if he could have got 1, maybe 2 tanks back, or at least forced Fujix to retreat off that victory point, certainly that would have gave him the advantage, not the win. Yeah, that Pershing's now turning its body instead of retreating backwards, which sometimes it does tend to do that. But Sepha can't flush Fujix out of that point, and I'm assuming that Fujix is going to be able to start making those points tick down. Plus, he can pick up that bar with his Volksgrenadiers.
Oh no! The Pershing is now out of range of all the AT stuff, but he's going to go after this machine gun. Good move by Sepha.
No one's picking up that bar.
And the bar's coming in, pinning the Volksgrenadiers to prevent them from taking that point. I mean, Sepha's doing perfect. I mean, he's micro magic right now to prevent his opponent from taking that victory point. Every time that Fujix goes after it, he loses it. But he's going to get it this time. And if he could lay some mines there again, like he did last time, it would really help him out. Or get some tank traps on the other side.
Fujix could have made a push for that victory point if he had a Tiger Ace with some tanks, maybe actually have gained some ground, but unfortunately he lost his Tiger Ace. In last week's replay, when Sepha lost his Pershing and Ahenian still had his Tiger Ace with barely any health, that was what really kind of turned the tide of the battle, but it was pretty even in that battle. Sepha lost a couple more tanks, but you know, a Tiger Ace is worth at least 2 tanks, so I think they both came out pretty even out of that.
I think he's
battle.
building another AT gun at the Kriegs Barracks. He really needs some infantry support, because every time he runs into a situation where he can't cap the point, he's got like nothing there. I mean, maybe he needs some more engineers. Here comes another AT gun.
Sherman doesn't have the upgraded gun, but his strategy wasn't to spam Shermans anyways. It was to get a lot of M10s out.
And it's going to stop him from taking this point here, which really would have been a really nice thing to grab.
Now he's building tank traps on the other side of the bridge, but I don't know what the point of that is, considering Sepha has a Pershing. And as you can see, it just rolls right through it. I mean, it doesn't even stop. Like when a Tiger goes over tank traps, it slows down, but not a Pershing. It just rolls right through.
That's bullshit, man. That's bullshit. Now, where did his AT gun go? He moved it... Wait. Oh, he was going around to get it on this side. That's a good position to put it in. But meanwhile, he's done it while he's cloaked. And so it's been really slow going. So the AT gun could have been over here and set up. But look, it's finally uncloaked it. He's like, where the heck is that thing? I should have put that thing there a long time ago.
Yeah,
but
Fujix is going to lose this battle hands down. But even if Sepha was attacked by that AT gun, he could have popped a smoke and could have done probably repair at this point. Although he did break out with about, what, 3 flying barrages and 2 smokes that last engagement. So
here comes the AT gun from the rear of the Pershing. He's moving it too close, though! Set up and fire! He did hit it a little bit, but wow, he wasn't watching it when he moved it in. This is big trouble now. That AT gun is really in trouble. Pershing's going to go and flank it right now. Is he going to get a shot on the N10? Nope.
No, he put on Allied War Machine, which is nice. He just got a free M10. And that's probably what's going to give him the edge.
There it is.
Right now.
I'm about 5 seconds behind you now, for some reason.
Alright, I'll pause for a few seconds.
Allied War Machine did give him a free M10. I see that, definitely. And
oh man, and a free Sherman, and that's definitely going to be turning the battle.
I just saw the Sherman explode.
This this could be the breakthrough right here, although I would have expected Fujix, if he didn't move that AT gun, to maybe have a little bit longer life. He's got a forward HQ now. I guess he's right at the point where his Volks were in there, and he's really trying to get an AT gun probably from that ASMP.
Well, I think the main thing is if Fujix had put this anti-tank gun over just north of the bridge faster, if he had uncloaked it while he was moving it, and he had the other one set up in the right place too, that would have been a bigger clusterfuck than it is right now. I mean, this is very... Oh no, this Pershing is really low! This is bad news! This Stug is doing lots of damage.
Man.
Wow.
That is really good for Fujix right now.
And he's gonna get a rear shot! There it goes! Oh my god, Sepha let his Pershing get too close to death, trying to take out this this headquarters or something. I don't know exactly what he was doing, but he lost a Pershing. That's a big deal because we might see a Tiger Ace coming on soon. But popping smoke. Good night to the Stug.
Those were the 2 free tanks that Sepha got back from Allied War Machine.
Oh, these two right here. Yep.
It would have been another win-win situation where both players just got dead even. Got an AT gun. That's going to be killed pretty easily by those 2.
He might get one shot off.
I think he's going to kill that M10 personally. Yeah. So it was a worthwhile building, but that Sherman's just going to take it out pretty quickly. I don't know why he's retreating. Yeah, he's not stupid. He's moving around to the other side, and the crew's gone. One last shot.
He could really use some Grenadiers. If he had some Grenadiers in this battle with Panzerschrecks, I mean, the tanks were so busy shooting at each other, they wouldn't have been able to, take the time to shoot at the Grenadiers in time to kill them. I think that would have made a big difference. Oh, is he going to flank around and take out this AT gun over here? Nope, he's going after the bunker, maybe. Oh, nope. I was thinking he's going to be smart. But I don't know if he knows this is here again. Sepha retaking the middle. 400 to 140 is the current score.
That bunker is a repair station, so I guess he was planning on fighting static battles in the middle and then retreating there.
I didn't even see that.
I don't know if that was necessarily the best spot.
No, it would have been hard to repair to move it there and then move it back into battle very quickly. Certainly, I think at this fuel point right here would have been a better position for it.
What really gave the edge to Sepha in this match was being able to control that fuel point. And as you can see, there really wasn't anything Fujix could do to harass it, and maybe that's one of the flaws of this map. Until they change the ability to deconstruct sandbags.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous. I mean, I think that's a big exploit right there. I mean, consider the fact that there's no way for Fujix to get across this. Placing sandbags there means Fujix cannot get across it no matter what his tech level is.
I'm surprised he hasn't got another Tiger Ace right by now. I mean, Sepha got out another Pershing, so I guess those AT guns really cost him in manpower.
Yep.
It's one of the rare games that you actually get to see smoke canisters and Allied war machines and Pershings, and and you get pretty much the full scope of the war and all its possibilities on this particular map, which is interesting. But at the same time, as you can see, it's just against when good players fight, it just ends up being a stalemate for quite a long time. Smoke canister going off might have been a risky thing to do. Yeah, that Stug is just gonna miss so much. My God! So now he's moving into to get the bonus.
That's a good move too. Oh, but there's a Pershing coming from behind him.
Yeah,
and he hit the Sherman.
Oh man, Sepha must just be rolling in the munitions to throw off a smoke canister.
Well, I don't think it was a throw off. He saved that Sherman. It was gonna die if he didn't do it, but it's still gonna die. It looks like because the Stug moved in. Oh, wow.
On a map like this, smoke just seems a little bit overpowered. It's really kind of saved the day quite a few times. Victory points are going down pretty quickly at this point. Fujix keeps on massing up these Stugs where maybe a Tiger Ace would have been a better choice at this point, although I don't know what his manpower situation was. And as you can see, even after all those battles, map control is still the same place it was at the 5-minute mark. Wow, all those mines just blew up in the south and took out a rifleman squad.
Oh, wow! He crawled over one, crawled over the other one, and like, time to retreat, and hit the third one.
And certainly if Sepha didn't have that Allied war machine, we would have been back to square one a couple minutes ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
This poor Sherman with a broken nose.
We got a squad of pioneers harassing in the south, just trying to find a point.
Yeah.
Well, but we have 2 Pershings on the field and a Sherman. The Sherman's being repaired right now, but it's pretty much out of action. 1 Stug's coming. Looks like he deleted his own tank traps in the north.
Yeah.
Which probably shouldn't be possible, but I like that deconstruct option. That's a very, very interesting thing, although it might make tank traps not that useful.
Well, maybe if you could at least deconstruct your own tank traps and not your opponent's.
Yeah, that's probably more fair. I'm not sure. I'd have to give it a little.
You could just argue that, your engineers know your own technology, man. They can build them. They should be able to destroy them. But, the tank traps are different for each side, so.
Fujix is just running that Stug right into Sepha's base just to probably to piss him off. But, wow, Sepha's actually getting the supply yard upgrade.
I saw that.
I hear a V1. He was actually dropping the V1 in his base.
Wow!
Never see that in a game. Nice. But as you can see...
Ooh! Good night, Supply Depot!
As you can see, it didn't really kill the barracks, and it did about a 3rd damage or a 4th damage to the HQ. So for 350 munitions...
But if he could do one more... Oh no, he still has to kill the tank depot.
Oh yeah, Fujix is just kind of fooling around at this point. I mean, look, you got a Nebelwerfer. It was the end to a good match.
I'm gonna fast forward it here, so if I can remember the command. Set rate. Oh wait, I misspelled it. Set rate. Let's go with 25. Did that work? Is that what it is? Is it supposed to be? No, that didn't work. What is it? Tell me.
I have no clue, but the game's gonna be over in about 10 seconds anyway.
Oh, is it? Oh,
yeah, he's only got 17 points left.
Gotcha.
The Nebelwerfer. That's great.
Must fire at the enemy base before the tickets run out. Could have sworn it was set rate. Set speed rate. Wait, me? No, that wasn't it. Dang it. Oh well. I'll figure it out later.
And playback over.
And playback over. Alright, so let's check out the stats then of this match. Wow. Pretty close match overall in terms of score. Sepha owned him in infantry. I mean, that's the whole time you were watching Fujix spam the Stugs, he had barely any infantry support. So that was a big problem. How do they have... Oh, vehicles includes tanks for a second. I'm struggling. But yeah, certainly Fujix did better in vehicles. I mean, he had a lot more Stugs. He killed a lot more stuff. But in the end, those Pershings really turned the tide of the battle, especially the smoke, I think, was a big, big proponent. I mean, there's a couple of critical moments when if that smoke hadn't been there, he would have won, you know?
And the Allied war machine, of course, and the Calliope barrages didn't hurt, but mainly that Allied war machine, I think, gave him just a little bit enough of an edge with those 2 tanks that he got back to gain an advantage.
But
I'm surprised we only saw 1 Tiger Ace come out.
Right.
I don't know. Certainly, I would have.
Let's analyze though the effectiveness, like how effective each munition point was for Sepha versus for Fujix in this case. I mean, the Allies used their munitions extremely effectively with the Calliope, did a lot of damage with the Calliope. Almost always hit with the Calliope. 125 munitions did major damage. And then then you see also the Allied war machine giving you 2 free tanks. At the same time, he had used the repair vehicles at least 3 times in that game, which saved his ass at least a couple of times. So those were
Especially
2 more
great
great uses of munitions. I mean, those are amazing uses of munitions that you just cannot discount that one Sepha the game. What did Fujix use? Landmines, sometimes. I mean, that was the big difference there, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, even his firestorms, like we had said before in a couple casts ago, that firestorms don't really do that much damage against tanks. So
and they can't hit tanks, because tanks will drive out of the range, but Calliopes will always kill stuff. It's ridiculous. Nerf the freaking Calliopes! Okay, sorry, it's not rant time. I'm okay.
Yeah, but what really killed Fujix, besides all the other stuff we just mentioned, was the fact that he had 700 less fuel than Sepha did.
Yeah.
So Sepha could pretty much endlessly spam tanks, and towards the end of the game,
it was that left-hand
that's why
side.
he got AT guns.
I mean, this is a perfect example of why sandbags need to be fixed. You need to be able to jump over sandbags or deconstruct them with your guys, and because sandbags are the same for both sides. So I think both sides should be able to deconstruct sandbags. Because that's just ridiculous. There was no way for Fujix to conceivably take back those +5 fuel points on the left. There was no way he could even fight for them. Ever. Once that was up, it was end game. Pretty much. It was just a slow, painful death.
And he might have pushed a little bit too far into Sepha's territory in the early game, considering he had all these units getting taken out by early Sherman. So that might have, it might have helped him for a few minutes, but in the long run, he just kind of had to retreat from those positions anyway. So he might have been better off just running an MG and a Flamer Pioneer or something through that little railway in the bottom and try to get back up north. But even if he did that, he still wouldn't have been able to reinforce it because of the sandbag issue. So who knows how effective that would be.
Maybe you can use flamers to attack sandbags. You can attack ground or something. I don't know if that's possible, but it's worth checking out, I guess. So I guess that's it.
A Goliath would have been a good use, as you had mentioned, against that, though. Yeah.
Now that I think about it, I think actually Goliath probably would have allowed him to take that. But he didn't use a lot of infantry to begin with, so if he had pushed on that side, we probably would have seen the rifle spam run over there to try and take it back. So I think it would have been a big, not that big of a deal because Fujix was not using a lot of infantry at all. So he probably couldn't have held it very easily. But I still think sandbags should be changed because, considering, I don't think the Allies can put det packs on sandbags. But, excuse me, we've had a long night, so I believe we're going to shut it down here for tonight. Thank you guys for watching. It's been a fantastic show, and I really appreciate you tuning in and downloading the podcast wherever you got it. Go ahead and, if you've never tried podcasting, go ahead and give it your first shot. If you got a iTunes, you're already set up for it. Just go to tails.tsncentral.com and go to the podcast links on the right-hand side and click on the buttons when you get there, on the top right when you get to the podcast section where it says, subscribe via iTunes or something like that. So there's that option. And also, if you've never podcasted before, you don't like iTunes, you don't use iTunes, I have a little tutorial on how to use a program called Juice, which is really, really nice podcatcher program. And you don't need an iPod to listen to these via podcasts, by the way, guys. So go ahead and check that out. The tutorial that I found is in the top section under About Podcasts or About Podcasting. Heck, I don't even remember what my own site is called. With that having been said, I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. We are going to call it a night. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Tails.tsncentral.com. This has been a production of the Team Sportscast Network.
TSN, the Team Sportscast Network.
This broadcast is copyrighted 2006 by the Team Sportscast Network. Any copying, reproduction, redistribution, modification, rebroadcasting of any kind or any manner is expressly prohibited without the written permission of the Team Sportscast Network, LLC.